so this is part 12 of the Schumacher CAT 3000 rebuild series. We're at the point now where we have to start installing the rear universal joints, whether they're going to be actual universals or CVDs. And I have a few different sets of CVDs here, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this because it's a nice new in package unit, and I'd rather not open it if I don't have to. And between these four, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 here, I do have a set of dog bones that are pretty clean. Like you can tell here, this one is a bit more worn. It looks like it was sort of grinding a little bit against the diff out drive. This one is just one little minor mark there. So this one's in better shape, but it's mated to a low-C wheel axle here. So I'm just going to take this dog bone off and attach it to one of these Schumacher wheel axles. And then this dog bone is also a little bit worn, but this one's fresh. So basically I'm going to try to use these two dog bones mated to Schumacher wheel axles, and that should pretty much do the trick. Okay, so I'm going to hang on to these. I'm going to put this away. So what do we got here? Did I put it in this one? I just want to make sure putting in the right box here. Right, that's all suspension arms and is it towers? Yeah, okay. Right, so and ooh, yeah, okay. So yes, it's gonna go in here, right? Yeah, it's gonna go in here. This is where all the blades are. That's all front stuff. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay. So then we're going to take these, put them in here. So now we got to do a little bit of mixing and matching, but that shouldn't be too big a deal. And while we're at it, because I'm not going to be using these low-C arms, let me take these ball studs off. Okay. Oop, where'd that go? Right there. And let's see, do I need to take, yeah, I might as well take the whole thing out if I can. Let's see. Some of these drive pins are a pain. Oh, that one fits nice and smooth. Good. So on some of the old, like Associated and low-C style wheel axles, God, there's so much hair on this. It's sickening. They have these drive pins that are hollow on the inside, so you can kind of crush them a little bit to make them slot into the wheel axle hole. And sometimes they go in nice and smooth, other times not so much, and then they get kind of like stuck there. And maybe that's by design, so it holds nice and firm. But then if you need to take it out, oh God, it's not fun. Okay, so there's some 5x10, looks like bearings there that we might be able to use for a later date. Let me just pop these out. Are those? Oh no, you know what? Those are probably standard because that's low-C. Never mind. Put that away. Is he running this on some kind of carpet or something? It looks like there's almost like carpet lint. Okay, I gotta take this little boot off right before my hands get too greasy here. I'm going to put some gloves on. Let's see. Don't I have a dirtier pair of gloves here? And I'll just use these. So I do have a set that's down here for my son when he wants to help me work on things, so to speak. Alright, put these on. This is going to get a little greasy. So this is the one we want. Yes. So I'm going to take this little boot off right here. That's cute. Right, we're going to not use that boot. I'm pretty sure that's a .05 grub screw. So I got to get my .05 hex driver. Let's see, does that work? Oops, ow. Yes, it does. Hopefully it's not thread locked. Let's see. Perfect. Alright, so now we have that loose. So pop right out, like so. Oops, come on. Let me just try to grab it with this. There we go. Okay, so these are all CVD parts for lossy stuff. Alright, let's see how much of that I have to reuse. I'm going to put a new blade on that just to have something a little bit cleaner there. The actual dog bone itself is in good shape, so I won't need to worry about that. Maybe I can just clean that blade. No, it's a little worn right there. Okay, you know what? I can just put a new one on. I got plenty of them. Alright, so that's one dog bone. I'll just put those parts there for now. This is the second one here. Before I get to that, why don't I take this part 2 so I can just put this aside as a spare. At some point I gotta separate out all the lossy stuff here and sell that off or give it away or something, because I don't have any vintage lossy cars. Not that I don't like them. In fact, I think the vintage lossy stuff is probably better than the vintage associated stuff. But I never made the investment in parts. So like if I wanted to run a XX or XXT, you know, I don't have spare parts for those things. So and I'm not about to go through collecting a whole bunch of spares for those cars after everything I went through to get spares for my Yokomos and Kyoshos and associated stuff. It's just a whole other nightmare, basically, and it's just unnecessary. So I'd rather, you know, just get rid of the lossy stuff, just little miscellaneous bits that came with this particular chassis here. Yeah. The only lossy I have now is a XX4 that's new in box. I don't think I plan on building it. It's just going to stay in the box. Because one day, that will be the only XX4 that's new in box. And that would be kind of neat. Right. Come on. Get this thing out of here. I guess while we're on that subject, you know, I see a lot of discussion threads on Facebook talking about how, you know, if you have a vintage car that's new in box, you should build it. You know, they weren't made to be kept on a shelf. I was like, well, okay, that's kind of true. But at the same time, if you have another version of that exact same car that is already built, why would you build one that's brand new in the box? Why not just keep it in the box and preserve that? You know, to me that would make more sense. Ooh, so this guy, that's great. So it seems like this pin here is a little stuck. It's not sliding out. So there might be some thread lock in here that kind of leaked out to one of these or both of these interfaces here. So I'm going to have to actually leave that be for now. Let's put this grub screw back in. Okay, come on, get in there. What is going on? Am I even putting it in the right side? Oh, that's why, 'cause I'm an idiot. There we go. Only one of these sides is threaded. Okay, so that's all the stuff, with the exception of this dog bone here, that's all the stuff I won't be needing anymore. And maybe this guy. I might need that guy. And then, what do we got here? So from here I want to use wheel axle. One. Should fit right in there. And I won't need anything else from this guy. So we're going to close this up. Put it off the side. Now let's see. Let's make sure this actually fits. It does fit. Good. Yeah, I was wondering because this is a metric axle, so I wasn't 100% sure if the metric and standard axles have the same inner piece here, but it would make sense that they do, because it would cost less money for MIP to produce the same part here, right, and then just use a lathe to you know, set up the wheel axle for however you need it to be. So okay, good. This fits perfectly fine. Let's get some black grease here. And it's actually quite simple. Actually, do I have enough in here? Oh, this one's almost empty. We got some. Okay, so little dab in there. Right? We take this, plop it in. Make sure the hole for that pin is where you can see it and not like this where it's blocked. And then, if you really want to do it right, you put a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, black grease in this housing here. Spread that around, because this ball is going to ride up against all that inside piece there on the housing, so you want to lubricate that. Some people don't, because they claim it you know, reduces friction, it moves a little freer. But if you want it to wear faster, then don't lubricate your parts. Alright, so that's one done. All I'm going to do here is just replace this blade. I don't know if this is something I can take off by hand, if it just, oh yeah, look at that. It just kind of flexes around there. Easy peasy. Okay, so we will put this here for now. And then we just got to build this one. Okay. We have, yep, this, and the wheel axle, another wheel axle left in there. So maybe I can just combine all this stuff at this point. Chuck that bag, put these bits in here. Not that I would ever really need this grease. Or this, oh, I think that's thread lock maybe? What is that? Let's see. Yep, that's thread lock. Put a grub screw and this grease. Okay. We'll just do this here. Like so. Come on. There you go. Alright. So now this we'll just put aside, and then here, where'd my scissors go? Alright, I gotta get my scissors over here. So if you built enough CVDs, This is just super easy. There's only a couple of parts. Ooh, I didn't even realize that. Look at that. This is actually kind of rusty. See that? That's no bueno. In which case, this is less rusty here. Wow. Alright. Now sometimes you can clean that rust off with simple green. So let's give that a try. And you just scrub like this. As you can see, some of that rust is coming off, right? Look at that. Actually looks pretty clean. Now it doesn't mean the surface will be smooth, because to whatever extent the rust will pit the surface of the steel, you know, that pitting is kind of permanent, right? But at least you can get the oxidized iron off of that. And it looks a little better, but not great. Well, let's try another spray here. Let's see, how does that look? Looks okay, but cleaner, but you can tell this is sort of permanent here. So all things considered, actually, this drive shaft here is actually in somewhat better shape. A little rusty. Let's see if we can clean this one off. If we can, then I just got to figure out how to get that pin unstuck. I do have an idea for that. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Say that's acceptable. So, soldering iron. Why the soldering iron? Well, that provides heat. And if there's any thread lock in there or anything that's all gunked up, if you provide heat, it does two things. It's going to expand the metal. So there's a thermal expansion coefficient that might be different between this pin and the steel, other steel components here. Actually, this is also steel, but this has a coating, so maybe there'd be you can make a slight gap there. Also, the heat will conduct through this joint here, and it can break down, if it's hot enough, it can break down whatever glue or gunk is in there a little bit, just to help you loosen this pin up and slide it out. So we're going to wait for that to heat up for a minute. While we're doing that, this guy here, I guess I'm just going to put it in here. Come on, these damn clips. So this should be good for a runner. I think at this point this one's going to be a shelfer, shelf queen, I guess, because you know it's I'm making it basically a fresh new build. But the other CAT 3000 that's up there, I guess that would be the runner. And so I could use that as a spare for that one. Actually, while we're at it, let's take a look. This one's actually in pretty good shape. You can see it is, you know, used, right? It has been raced, so there's a bit of dirt here. But like the diff out drives look good. These universal joints are good, but there's just a little bit of play, right? Because again, they've been used. CVDs in the back look pretty decent. Slightly worn though. So yeah, this is probably, and you can see the chassis here has been ground down a little bit. This is something that you would do to the chassis to make your NiCad or nickel metal hydride cells fit better. Right, this is a fresh chassis here, so this would be the runner. So I would save those sort of less than perfect dog bones for this car whenever I do get around to making a runner. So this, I'm going to do a few things to this. It looks like the shocks are a little bound up, so I'll probably have to rebuild those. But the rest of the car looks pretty decent. Maybe just check the diffs and it's ready to go. Alright, so this is probably more than hot enough by now. Now the trick is to do this without getting burned. So, here we go. Might want to touch it in a few different spots. That's what she said. We'll try there. Try here. I don't know if it's bound up at the outer edge here or if it's more on the inside. But let's see what we can do. Okay. And maybe if I just hit the body of this here, you know what? Maybe here. How about that? Okay. Let's see if that helps. No, that's really in there. Alright, I'm gonna have to use maybe more draconian measures because I don't have anything. There are certain tools you can use to like drive a pin out of something. I don't think I have anything like that in my arsenal. So this is wonderful. Alright, now we have to make a different choice for what to use. That means this will still have to be a spare of some sort, and maybe one day I'll figure out how do you take it all apart. That means, unfortunately, I probably have to use this other guy in here, which is in a bit rougher shape. Okay, so, alright, we gotta pick between these two, essentially. Right? So this one, actually, no rust marks. There's just a little bit of a ring here. Okay. It's still a little warm, except down here. This has some rust marks, and this one has a lot of rust marks. So actually, we can use this one. Okay, that's actually not too bad. So that means these guys. Alright, how do I want to do this? I want to use the new parts. Yeah, so here's what I'll do. I'll bet this is an RC10 wheel axle. It does look like it. Okay, so I'm gonna just take this out. So I'll just put this pin through. Come on, you like this. I'll just lock this in. Put that in the bag, and then that's also in that pile. Okay, it's not too warm now. So then take this. You don't really need to thread lock this grub screw into this unit here, because you know you're not using red thread lock anyway. So like the stuff they give you is essentially blue thread lock, so it'll hold a little bit. But if you tighten this down enough, it's fine. Like I don't think I've very rarely had issues with that grub screw backing out on a non-thread locked assembly. This is just going to sit on the shelf anyway. Who cares? So, alright, we're going to plop this in, like so. Spread that around. And again, we want to put a little bit of black grease in this cup here. Actually, is this clean? Yeah, it's pretty clean. I don't need to clean it. Alright. Okay. So then we do like so. Line those holes up. Put this through. Come on. Get in there. Alright, hopefully that's not in the way. Let's see. Now the fun part. Oh, okay, so maybe I just rotated that a little too much. Let's try again. This. Wow, that's really not cooperating. Alright, what happens? Do I just have to force it? No. Damn it. Let's see, okay, how about this? Take this out. See if I can just fit it through this way. There's a problem. Ooh. That's kind of stuck. If I go this way. Alright, I can kind of get it through if I go that way. So let's try that. That means I do this. There we go. Most of the way at least. Alright, let's see if I can get it the rest of the way. Perfect. Okay. Let's see, tighten this down here. Alright, finally. 2 CVDs. Not the best condition, right? This has a little bit of a ring here. But it's, you know, it's okay. So, let's see. Alright, this we can actually put back. All these low-C parts. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Well, let's do this, and actually let's just put all these together. So I'm going to put the shim on, and this wheel spacer, and then the nut. I'll throw it in there. And here, shim, wheel spacer, and the nut. This guy, actually, you know what? Can I just plop that thing through? Yeah. Why don't I do that too? Like so. Let me find another one. That's a looser fit. Okay. Blades. We need some blades. This guy, I'll just put you in here for now. Put you in there. Okay. So we got plenty of blades. No shortage there. Not just in this package, actually there's several packets of blades. Those are used, okay. These are fresh, except for maybe one of them. Fine. So we'll take 2 of these. Let's see, 1, 2. It looks like I don't have to trim them. The flashing came off nice and clean, which is good. Alright, put this away. And then this just wraps around the pins here at the end. So that's 1. And then, oops. Good thing these are nice and flexible. There we go. That's 1, and then this one makes 2. Come on, get in there. Okay, so now let's check to see. We have to go back a little bit in the manual to see if I have to put any shims or anything on the inside of these wheel axles here. Let's see, this does not suggest that you need any shims between this and this, which is good. Let's just double check here. See, yeah, that's right. It's not in on this image, and that's on page 8, and then when you go to page 9, I'm pretty sure, oh, nope, that's there, and then page 10, yeah, they don't even tell you. Fantastic. Okay, so, well, I should say they don't show you the assembly of the CVD into the hub carrier and the diff-out drive, but you can look at the 3D blow-up picture, and there's no shim here, so it looks like you don't need a shim. So I can just plop these in for now. They're not really going to hold, right, because I have to set up the rear shock tower and the camber links to actually hold everything, but I'm just going to put them at least through the rear hub carriers and just kind of see if I can make the blades sit in there. Come on, there. Alright, fine. They're just going to pop out anyway. Okay. So now we got to do, see, this is all front tower, and then they show here front and rear tower. Oh, I see. This is the rear tower, rear. Oh, it says it right there. I'm so stupid. Rear tower. But that shows it is already being assembled. So that means, oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm an idiot. So for the rear tower, we're going to use, there's a 3x20 cap head with two, alright, yeah, we can start borrowing from, ooh, those are not metric. We can at least, oh, that's so strange. Okay, so we're definitely going to need these two. And it says F 1.6 nylon space here. I think it said the same for the front, but I didn't do that. So let's see. Do I want to use? Yeah. All right. Let's find a decent lock nut, I guess. Yeah, those are metric. This is also metric. Let's see. So I need another box wrench to do this. This one. Hopefully that's not worn. Yeah, okay. Let's try this. I see. So I'll bet it's really supposed to look like that. You know what? Let's just copy this over. How about that? One. Get that out of there. Two. Come on. Okay. Now, let's be mindful of how it mounts, because you have this countersunk hole here, then over here is countersunk on this side. So the way this is going to mount is back against this bulkhead like so. Oh, this actually has 5 holes. This is kind of neat. And that's going to go on the lower inner hole facing forward like this. So that inner hole, so this must be some kind of revised tower, which is cool. And so this would give you less camber gain and a medium roll center option between these upper and lower holes. There's not a lot of material between these holes here, so I can't imagine this a very strong point. That's probably a weak spot on this tower. So you may actually be better off with just the standard tower with the 4 holes here. And if you want something with different camber gain, you can do it on the hub carrier. But in terms of the roll center, if you want a medium roll center option, that's kind of all you got. You know, you would just have the upper and lower rows. Without that, you wouldn't have that medium option. So, okay, whatever. Just drive better, and you won't need that option. Alright, let's do this one. I think the reason why I have the nylon washer here and I didn't need it on the front tower is because this particular ball stud is shorter. Right, this guy here, I think, if we look here, yeah, so this thread is shorter than the thread on this ball stud. And they are slightly different parts, because this part here that the box wrench or your nut driver would mate to, this metal here is thicker than what it is right here. This is a bit thinner. So it is a different ball stud. The diameter of the ball is the same, but that part is a different part. Okay, fine. So now we need, was it 3x20 and then 2 M3 nuts. Okay. Oops. 3x20 cap head. Where are we? 3x20. Yep, right here. 1, 2. Fine. And then some nuts. Let's see. They come from here. Yes. So we're going to need 4 total. Fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And that's going to go on the middle bottom hole with this facing forward this way. This screw is going to go in like so. And again, I want to put a washer there just to help protect the tower. Yeah, okay, so I'll just get metal washers. Where did I put those? Oh, did I leave them over here? Oh, they're there. It's right under my nose. So, let's see. We got 1 and 2. So we're going to do this. Yeah. This right here. Okay, let's see. That one, does that have a hole? Nope. That has a hole. Some of these box wrenches have have a hole in the middle so you can slot a long screw all the way through. Some of them are closed off. So that's why I'm just checking to see which one has which. Pretty sure this one is, yeah, see, you can't go through, right? This one, go all the way through. Even though they look the same on the outside, they're not. And the reason why you would want to do that is if you have, especially on your wheel nuts, if you need extra torque, you just take your nut driver or your Allen wrench and you slide it through like this, and you use the shaft here to get more torque than what you can get by just gripping, you know, these ends here. It's a neat little trick for getting better usage of your box wrenches. You know, I'm sure a lot of people, you know, they get these with their Tamiya kits, they just throw them in a box somewhere or throw them out, but they're actually very useful. You just have to know how to use them. Alright. This guy. And then this is going to mount using, and they don't frickin' say because they suck. Yeah, see, this uses countersunk screws. No countersunk screws there, no countersunk screws there, but by the end of this page it's already assumed that everything's mounted and you're good to go. Stupid. Alright, so let's go back to here, and let's see what this, oh, wait a minute, when I did the front tower, it says front, rear, da-da-da, I thought, what screw do they use for the front? I don't even remember. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to the 3D drawing here. And this would say, shit. They don't show, okay, front tower. And then they don't tell you what screw to use here. Though they show the screw going in. Alright, and then on the back side, they kind of do the same thing. So I gotta guess. So that's probably about a 10. Let's see what we got here. This is, those are the hex heads. These are the button heads. These are the countersunks. 3 by 10. It's been a little while since I made the previous video, so I don't exactly remember if I used the 3 by 10 or 3 by 12. It's probably 3 by 10 for the front tower. Alright, so we can take this off. 1, 2, and put this on. Come on. This is going to face the back, yeah, like so. So this is just going to slot right in. See, normally, oh, that's interesting. If you had the normal tower, which is these 4 holes here, right, this would be a straight